Welcome to the live stream. James, the team finished strong here on a warm Thursday evening, getting ready to do stage 1 of Tour Watopia. You know, I didn't think I was going to actually do the tour this year. I had some in real life racing this weekend on Sunday, and I thought for sure, since the tour started the same day, that I would not have time to recover and feel like racing again before stage 1 was over. But tonight is the very last night. So I'm going to give it a try, see if my legs have recovered enough, and see what stage 1 has to offer. I really enjoyed the tour last year. If some of you who are watching have done the tour, you may remember. Emiliano, thank you. I appreciate it. I need all the luck and prayers today that I can get, because my legs are still not recovered. But the tour last year was pretty cool. It was 7 stages last year, and they had a workout stage, if you guys may recall, which proved to be rather interesting. But now Zwift is doing everything completely different. They are doing races and group rides. They might even be doing workouts on Tour de Watopia. I have not seen all of the offerings that they have. I just had enough time today to sign up for one of the last events in stage 1. So I'm going to try to do all 5 stages. If they give us plenty of time to recover between stages, I should be able to at least do the races, and we'll go from there. I was originally planning to race again this weekend, but the weather doesn't look particularly favorable, and I got a particularly good spanking in the race last weekend. I really got to see what it's like to mix it up with the Cat 4s here in the USA, and very strong field. And I am going to put out a video about that race. So just to let you know, I did not podium. Y'all can probably find out through the Federation's website and all that for the results anyway. I think I posted my results on Strava, so go check that out if you really want to know. But I think you guys would be proud of me. Emiliano, you'd be proud of me. I held on to the bitter end. And I mean the bitter end. And it was tough. I had to sag climb hills and employ a lot of tactics to hang on. But 3 days between each stage, okay, I can do that. I can at least do the races with that. I prefer not to race more than twice a week, and I think that will allow me to accomplish that. But yeah, this real life event. Now, granted, it was fun. I enjoyed it immensely. Our team was very fruitful in terms of our endeavors there, what we were looking to accomplish. And one of my teammates ended up going on to placing 10th in a bunch sprint on Sunday. So kudos to him, Kevin Haynes. Congratulations to Kevin. You've done a good finish. And so now, kind of moving back on to Zwift, at least for the next month. I've got another in real life event coming up at the end of April. Those of you who followed me last year on Zwift know that I have a pretty big crit at the end of April that I like to do. I'm going to give this one another try before I think I'm getting too old to do this sort of thing, at least in real life. But so I'm going to train for that. Zwift hopefully will be an integral part of that, and you guys will see me doing some racing in Zwift until then. Now, after that, I may change things up. But at least for the next month, we'll be doing some crit-like races here in Zwift. So yeah, it was pretty cool. The racing that I did last weekend, Emiliano, was a 3-weekend race, 6 races. I don't know if they have an omnium points. I guess they do have overall point leader that gets an award too. I had no intention of trying to do 6 races in that tight of a time frame. And frankly, when they combined categories this year between Cat 4 and 5, that pretty much ruled out my hopes. And interestingly, they not only did they combine categories for reasons of animating the race, which I understand, they're trying to make money, but it also increased the length of the race from 21 miles to 35 miles, which is a huge, huge jump in length. So I actually rode faster this year than I did last year, and I did it doing 35 miles instead of 21. So I think all of my personal objectives were accomplished. I think I did better than I expected I would do. But I was really hoping to have a Cat 5 35, an older group to race against this year so I could try to podium again. But it was not to be. So there are a lot of races in real life I notice out there that cater to folks our age, Emiliano, just not a lot for the older sect out there. It's kind of geared towards the younger crowd. I understand, at least with our racing federation, USA Cycling, they're really geared towards bringing up youth and maturing them to the point where they can be contenders out on the world stage. And I understand that focus. But based on the racing I've done in Zwift, I know there's a huge body of individuals out there who are middle-aged or seniors who still want some of that element of competition in their life and in their cycling, but they're not willing to risk their livelihood over that. They're not willing to risk their livelihood, their health, for a $200 prize at the end of it. That's not it for them. Safety is important, and so because of that, I think racing. Yeah, let me go ahead and get on over here before I lose all the good spots. But well, there we go. I don't want to race against juniors and 20-something-year-olds that essentially have almost nothing to lose if they're out of commission for a couple months with a broken collarbone or something. I have a family to support, and so because of that, the real life racing doesn't really match with my goals. But maybe there might be some race organizers out there that might see some of how much of a well participated event an e-cycling event is for those that are in our age bracket, and see that there might be some potential out there. But until that day, we have Zwift. Try racing as a Clydesdale. I actually have a friend in our local cycling club, not my club, but another local cycling club, who I would consider a Clydesdale. He's a bigger fella. He's definitely a lot bigger than me frame wise, but he can just plow up hills, barrels down hills. Just got really good power, and so yeah. I've seen some Clydesdales out there. I don't consider myself one. I'm hoping I'm still a little bit on the mid-weight size, Things I'm 5'9", about 160 pounds. So I think I'm probably about average. But that being said, there are some big, strong fellas out there that just put even some of us average or lighter riders to shame. And I probably got my fair share of them racing against me tonight in this category. Oh my gosh! So Emiliano, which category did you race with? Did you race with the C's? Because I was looking at least in Zwift Power, and Zwift Power doesn't tell the whole story. I realize that, especially with these mass events that appeal to everyone. That there's not a lot of folks over category signing up for the C's, at least for this race. But I could be wrong. There could be a lot of above category riders or folks not on Zwift Power that are really strong that could surprise us tonight. So I appreciate that, because not only did I race on Sunday, but I did a high tempo workout on, let's see, Tuesday, and then yesterday I did a group ride. So got a lot of miles in these legs tonight. I was hoping for something a little bit easier, but I'll take whatever's dished out and take it like a man. Which means I'm going to turn my fan on right now. It is warm. It's 70 plus degrees here tonight in the upstate of South Carolina, and so we got some unseasonably warm weather. I got to start getting used to if I'm going to ride either indoors or outdoors. Yeah, and the Amiato, you raised a good point, and I would encourage everyone in the Zwift community that cares about racing and fair competition in racing to submit feedback to Zwift. I received an email, I'd say about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, asking for some feedback. If you guys have received the same, let them know. Let them know that you'd like folks to be able to race with their category. Find some way to track it and then enforce it. Because it does affect the races, as you found out, Emiliano, and it will probably surely affect our race tonight. I was hoping this would be just a C group, and it would be kind of a race of peers, but we may have some folks sneaking in from the A's and the B's. All right, time to get ready. Do a medium start here, not trying to start a walk war right off from the get-go. We've got people trying to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's already splintering. See if I can jump to the end of this next one before it's gone. You know how fast they leave and take off pretty quick. Even these guys aren't really hanging on right. Let it string out. All right, here we are. Seems to be pretty calm so far. Yeah, I saw a couple. Only 2 Bs. I don't know how many there are now. Merrick, normally I would be okay with that if it was a mass start race. But when it's supposed to be C only, it's a little disconcerting to have to go above category to stay with the lead group. But this is about on par right here. So was your experience, Merrick, in the Tour of Watopia or one of the other races? Okay. Yeah, well, you know, I would just suggest putting in if you like racing, as I do, for me, it ends up being probably 75% of the time I spend in Zwift. It's worth asking Zwift to make some more investments in it, in the e-racing side. All right, here we go. Once again, not trying to push it unless they push it. Still got one whole lap. I know, crazy, huh? How the weather changes like that. We had sub-zero temperatures here for the start of my race last weekend, and now it's 70s. All right, gotta work. You'll have to explain what sea otter is. I'm not familiar with that. Is that an event? Uh-oh. Does that work? Okay. Cool. Well, hopefully they'll be able to cast a wide net and be able to share that with the greater cycling community. That sounds pretty cool. Let's hope coronavirus concerns don't dampen these upcoming events like we have here in the cycling community. It certainly has the potential to. Oh, really? Okay. Man, that's a bummer. But it's bound to happen. Our races were not canceled. In fact, it really seemed like business as usual last weekend at the event. Of course, we don't have serious outbreaks here yet in South Carolina. Yeah, I know what you mean, Merrick, about timing. I've got a big 80-miler coming up in the winter that I need to start training for pretty soon. All right. I've got a ghost. Hey, does anybody know if we're going to get another power-up at start-finish? Because I'd really like to trade this out. Okay, so nothing at the start finish then, huh? It's so hard to tell. I might take a chance here and go for it, see what happens. Make him think I'm sprinting. All right. The burrito could help in a sprint, but I prefer an arrow. Think I should give this one up too? Get behind, get ahead of the burritos. Gosh, it is so warm. I'm not used to this yet. So, Emiliano, who's left in Zwift Power that's got a good sprint? Because I'm hoping, since it's been pretty boring, that it'll come down to the sprint. I could try to TT off the front at the last sprint there. See if I pick up an arrow on top of it. It's not my forte. Probably won't succeed. One possibility, though. My lungs and my legs want me to just sit in tonight. Inflict as little pain as possible. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've done it exactly once, but it was on a KOM finish with only one person behind me, not a blob. This is neither of those scenarios. I don't think I could pull it off. My FTP is kind of so-so. Alright, trying to push it a little bit here. Trying to break it up. I was going to use the burrito on that guy behind me. That'd be so cruel, wouldn't it? I'm going to give him a fighting chance. Well, they saw that that didn't work. Think anybody's ready to break? So I'm going to probably give up this burrito at the sprint. Maybe I'll fake an attack. I'm on arrow. Ah. Would have been better off with the burrito. All right, time to get the heart rate down. Just another few seconds. Good hard sprint finish. Just the way I like it. Yeah, that was close, Merrick. Closer than I would have liked. Mr. Brzezinski was coming up like a freight train. If he had timed it a little better, he would have had me. All right. Well, as you can imagine, thank you, Amiano. As you can imagine, I'm gonna need some recovery after that one. Hey, look at that, guys. I got the arrow. That's happened to me before. Did it just in time for the recovery. Oh, boy. I could really use that arrow in the recovery. Thank you so much. That is going to help me out so much. Thank you, Amiano. And thank you, Merrick and Tim Dog and others in the chat today. Appreciated your advice and your comments. If you like the suffering, feel free to give me a like today. And we'll try to do another race before the next 7 days is out. We'll do stage 2. All right? So, folks, you know how it goes. I'm going to sign off here for tonight. You guys take care. Have a good evening. God bless. And finish strong.